President Joe Biden has apparently signed off on a plan by moderate Democrats in the Senate to begin the phase-outs of the next round of stimulus checks at a lower income threshold than previous stimulus requirements. Here is what the new phase-outs will be according to this deal, again, with the moderate Democrats. Phase-out begins at $75,000 for single filers, which is the same as the House bill. It now ends at $80,000. So there's only a $5,000 income leeway between getting the full thing and getting nothing. Phase out begins at $112,500, for head of household, same as House bill. Now ends at $120,000. So there you have a $7,500 threshold or gap, I guess, between getting the full thing and getting nothing. Phase out begins at $150,000 for joint filers, same as House bill. Now ends at $160,000. So only a $10,000 window for those individuals. And again, according to the reports, this is because moderate Democrats in the Senate wanted this. Why? See, that's the question that's really starting to piss me off that nobody is asking. Why? And I'm not talking about my fellow progressive media. We're all asking the same question. I want to know from these moderate Democrats why you would do this really ridiculously stupid plan. Do you understand? You are setting yourselves up for Republicans to say in the 2022 midterms that Donald Trump, the Republican president, gave more stimulus to the public than the Democrats did. That's what they'll say. And it'll be true. It'll be 100% true because you're lowering the thresholds from what they were when Donald Trump sent out those checks with his name on it. And that is an absolutely brain-dead, idiotic move by this administration to agree to it and by these so-called moderate Democrats in the Senate. And by God, I am so sick of this. I am sick and tired of watching these idiot Democrats shoot themselves in the foot every single time that they have the opportunity to do something good for the American public. Last week, it was the $15 an hour minimum wage. This week, it's saying, well, what if we just gave fewer people money? My God, these people are trying to lose the midterms, trying to lose their majorities in the House and Senate. And I can promise you it's going to happen if they continue with idiotic plans like this. This isn't necessary. Politicians may wring their hands over, oh, but what if a rich person gets something? Oh, that's so horrible. We want to help the downtrodden. Out here in the actual country, where people live and work and do all those kinds of things, they don't care. They really, truly don't care. What they care about is the fact that they can't put food on the table, that they can't pay rent, that they can't make ends meet because we're in the middle of a pandemic and a recession, and they're counting on these Democrats who swore they were going to give them relief, and every time they put their faith in the Democrats, they get let down. That's not exactly a winning campaign message, but more importantly, this isn't just about campaigns. This is actually about people's lives. And they're sitting there in their seats of power, making $180,000 a year for working 3 days a week, a couple of months out of the year, telling us that if you make $160,000 a year as a family unit, well, you're already wealthy. It depends on where you live, actually. You can't apply the same standards to a family living in Manhattan as you can to a family living in rural Alabama. It simply doesn't work that way. That $160,000 will take you a long way in rural Alabama. Won't get you very far in Manhattan at all. Won't get you very far in LA. But y'all don't have to worry about that crap, right? Because those are the areas you think those are your strongholds. It doesn't matter. Those people are going to vote blue no matter who. And the sad part is you're probably right. Because we as voters don't do our part of it. And our part of it is to actually hold these people accountable. And when they fail to deliver, we have to stop voting for them. We have to send them that message. We have to support the primary challengers. We have to get these people out of power. Because if we don't do that, we're no better than these moderate Democrats who continue to limit what they believe are people who don't deserve help in these times of crisis.